La conferencia económica del IEFA, que ya es un clásico en Buenos Aires, ¿o no, Frank? Ya es un clásico definitivamente. El modelo conversación, en este caso, para ni más ni menos que José Luis Manzano, el presidente y fundador de Integra Capital, que va a tratar en un diálogo sobre 3 temas bastante, por lo menos apasionantes y yo diría desafiantes para ver cómo lo encaran, ¿no? Yo les voy a dar ahora los títulos de lo que ellos van a tratar. Desglobalización, Deglobalization, seguridad alimentaria y demanda energética. Estos van a ser los temas. Y el segundo participante de esta conversación con José Luis Manzano va a ser Rahim Bapoo, Managing Director de BMO Capital Markets, Metals, Mining and Critical Minerals. Le pido un aplauso para José Luis Manzano y para Rahim Bapoo. Adelante.
First of all, congratulations to the IEFA for putting on another amazing conference. And Jose Luis, congratulations to you for your part in it. This is a spectacular crowd and great discussions so far today. I thought we might start today's discussion by zooming out a little bit. I am an investment banker. I'm here from Miami. And we have a lot of clients that are facing today's world with skepticism. Things are changing very quickly. Global alliances are shifting. Technology is advancing very rapidly. The world is changing. And some see that as a moment of opportunity, and others see it as a time to be cautious and careful in your approach to the world and capital deployment. I'm curious, from your perspective, both for Argentina and Integra, is this a time of opportunity, or is it a time to be cautious?
There's no doubt for Argentina it's a time of opportunity. I have no doubt. I have a bias. No? I normally have reasons to be optimistic with Argentina. It's been like that since I was a child, and it's going to be that forever. But sometimes the reasons come from the heart, and sometimes the reason comes from the heart and the brain. I think in this case, the reason comes from the heart and the brain. Because on the deglobalization trend, I believe we belong to the Western Hemisphere. That is a fact. So our identity belongs to Western values. So there's nothing to be questioned about that. We are Western, we are democratic, we believe in freedom, and geographically, we are in the Western Hemisphere. So we don't need to look for an identity. We are there. We already have an identity. So if very bad things happen in the world, like a war, we belong to the Western Hemisphere. We will not have to think what to do. We belong to the Western Hemisphere. If things that happen are not that bad, and we just go to a fragmentation of commerce, we have all the things that will be demanded. We have the oil, we have the gas to supply ourselves, all our neighbors, and a good part of the world. We have the people to attract it, and we have a government that is putting the rule to attract the capital to have those resources in a ship or in a pipeline. We have the minerals, we have the people to find the minerals, we have the people to develop, and we have an open traditional migratory policy for qualified and unqualified workers that will attract and should attract a lot of qualified workers on the mining industry because we don't have enough. In oil, we have enough. In mine, we have more limited personal resources. And then if things that happen in the world turn to be good, and the huge, enormous poor population in the world start accessing food, we are a huge food producer. So we have the things. We have the qualified people, and we have the resources. So the question is, why we didn't do it before? Wrong policies, wrong policies. So I will quote, last night, Damian Radel said, this time is for real. I believe this time is for real because it's not a simplification of rules. It's stabilization of easy rules. And I think we are in a process of stabilization of easy rules that will attract the capital. The capital was interfere on the instability. The stability will create a reason to come the capital, and the capital will be a catalyzer to show all this. Then on top, and we finish with this, we have a strong cultural heritage of peace, tolerance, and dialogue. We contribute to make LATAM a denuclearized, for military purposes, region of the world. We are a denuclearized military region, not for energy, but for military uses. And we contribute to have alternance in government, and we sign peace treaties with everybody. So I pray for peace in the world, but I think Argentina is well positioned for any scenario, very well positioned for any scenario.
That is a fascinating and very optimistic view of the world.
It is.
I hear you on war and the positioning of Argentina. One of the words that the U.S. president has used a lot, and he says his favorite word is tariffs. Let's talk maybe not about hot war, but trade war. Is there anything that Argentina has to think about from a trade war perspective?
I would say, I will be very audacious with the word I'm going to use. He has to be prudent. He has to be prudent. Why he has to be prudent? Let's say so we are building a big potash mine. We are building a big potash mine. And food demand and potash demand go like, okay, potash they don't need. So let's say we put the potash in the market. There is tariff for potash in the US. Our potash will go to Brazil, China, India. He doesn't care. We are exploring rare earth aggressively, like 7 properties. Let's say we are successful with 3 properties. And we find the rare earth, and he put tariff. You think I'm going to have a problem to sell my rare earth? You think I will not have demand? You think somebody will not knock on my door to buy the rare earth? So he has to be prudent and selective. It cannot be a caterpillar. It has to be a surgical tool. And tariffs are a legitimate tool for government, but it has to be used looking for the real interest of the one that is imposing the tariff. So my suggestion is, if I were the US government, I would look for the rare earth in Brazil and Argentina, not to go to somewhere else. Then if there is commercial war or war, you have to cross the ocean. We have no ocean. You go through the coast. So my word, and nobody to make recommendations, just as an observer, I would be prudent with tariff.
That's interesting, and your vision for Argentina is one that involves developing, to your point, not just the vast energy resources that we heard about in the last panel at Vaca Muerta, but also the vast mineral resources of the country, much of which will need to be exported. And it's interesting to me to hear you talk about that as a global play. I mean, you're still thinking about Argentina as the source of goods that will go to the rest of the world, as opposed to a deglobalized world.
I see like 4 engines. You look at 5 years, 8 years from now, 10 years from now, 4 engines. One is the agricultural. Agricultural in Argentina is super competitive, highly technological. From seed development to precision agriculture is very competitive, very technological. So that's a mature, always growing. and has proven super resilient sector because the poor guys have lived with export taxes, I don't know for how long. So the guys are fantastic. I believe when the export tax is taken out of the sector, they will take over other sectors because they are survivors. The second is Vaca Muerta. Vaca Muerta, and Alejandro Bulgeroni, Alejandro is very generous with his knowledge, pass and add and say, is the first shale discovered and developed. But my learning of oil is that where is conventional, somewhere this is a salt rock, and maybe the salt rock is commercial. So it's not a single play. And conventional in Argentina, it will not be only Vaca Muerta. Other plays may come, maybe less competitive. At some point, other plays will come. So oil and gas, we can be supplying the world the next 100 years. I don't believe oil and gas will disappear from the energy mix, like coal has not disappeared. It will reduce, increase, but it will be a mix. So that's the second engine. The third engine is mining. There is no doubt the third engine in mining. Today, contribution to mining is very low. It's only, of total exports, it was mentioned by Secretary Kirno, 4 billion. Mining could be another Vaca Muerta, could be another agricultural sector. The resources are there. Even the mining code is super good. It's a mining code from the 90s. I wasn't in Congress, it was passed later, so I'm not claiming merit for it. But it's a very good mining code. But then the macroeconomic policies and the lack of entrepreneurial expertise, because we don't have many. I see Eduardo Erstein here. Here he has been a pioneer on being an investor in mining, but it's not a tradition of local capital going into mining, but mining has all the conditions. And you ask me which minerals, I believe most of the money will come from copper. You see Filo del Sol, Jose Maria, Los Azules, Pachón, Taca Taca, so those are huge. Each project should be 6 to 10 B, so it's very big. It's slower than oil, but with rigs, all those projects are competitive. So copper will be the core. I wish rare earth, because we're doing a lot, so I wish rare earth. Lithium. People that has entered the industry based on price speculation is not the people to develop the industry. The industry has to be developed for long-term thinking. It's like we are. I believe the world will work with lithium like it will work with oil and with gas and with things because of storage. I see rare earth, lithium, gold. Gold, Argentina has good deposits of gold, and potash. In potash, we have 300 million tons of proven reserve. 300 million tons can impact world prices. It's huge. It's a world class. It's really a world class. Like Filo and Jose Maria are world class reservoirs. What we have in proven reserve in potash is world class. It's already world class. So potash. And so those three sectors plus tech. In tech, I discovered it late in my life. I have learned to use my iPhone, and I use artificial intelligence, I don't know, 20, 40 times a day. But I believe you have two big examples in Global and Mercado Libre that Argentinians know how to do it and can do it. So those four driving forces on a stable macroeconomic policy based on fiscal discipline and being capital friendly to give us all the conditions to finish the permanent dying and coming back, dying and coming back. So it should keep us on a path of stable growth between 3.5% and 6% for 20 years.
You know, it's interesting. I want to drill down on the mining side of that question. You laid out 4 commodities: copper, rare earths, lithium, and potash, in that order.
Yep.
Now,
Don't forget gold. The guys that go for gold will make more money than us. I get attracted to this intellectual thing. The guys that go for gold will make more money because a lot of in a scenario of fragmentation and commercial wars and maybe a war, and with big economies like the Chinese economy trying to move away from the SWIFT system, gold will be king, not cash. No, cash will be king. Gold will be king.
So let me ask
if somebody want to start a mining business and make money, they should go to gold.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Integra is often out ahead of the curve, I've noticed. Where are you spending Integra's time of those 5 commodities?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm the worst. In rare earth, because it's the more challenging. So I put most of the time. Nicholas runs the zinc business. We've been lucky. We have become big on zinc. We are exporting like 370,000 tons. So we don't talk about mining, we do mining. You have, I don't know, like 14 miners, 14,000 miners. So that's for real, but Nicholas runs it. I'm putting a lot of time on rare earth and lithium, and some time on copper. This is getting the people with the PhDs, talking to the geologists, buying the resource, doing the exploration, consolidating. Is super, super attractive. And we know it's super useful because rare earth are not democratized. 84% of the rare earth are concentrated in a sole provider, which is China. So I believe Argentina should have fantastic commercial relationship with the US, China, Brazil, everybody. But if we take 10, 15% of the 85%, we will be very relevant worldwide.
One of...
It's a Pacific nuke. Yeah. You take 20% of the global market of rare earth, you have a Pacific nuclear artifact.
No, you would have a significant amount of geopolitical presence with that size reserve for sure. I'm curious. Once a year, we BMO hold the world's largest metals and mining conference, and we invite everyone to come visit me in Florida.
I had the privilege that you invited me. Yeah.
Well, this year, in addition to yourself, I couldn't help but notice there were a huge number of companies who are choosing to spend their capital dollars in Argentina, whether it's Rio Tinto, BHP, Glencore, the largest miners in the world are coming here. That's a remarkable concentration. What do you think it is that's attracting investors now to Argentina? Is it RIGI?
Yeah,
is it new administration? What is it?
To be totally honest, I believe President Milei gave an unprecedented visibility. Because the resource was there, the Filo discovery, the Jose Maria discovery, the Los Azules discovery, the Pachón discovery were already there. The catalyzer was the change of policy. The catalyzer was a change of policy, and then the fiscal consistency, and the global demand. Without the market, the money will not come, but it's global demand, and here is, again, the artificial intelligence. When you see the copper, well, you're the banker, you know better than me. You see the copper demand without artificial intelligence is a fantastic business, no? Then you put the artificial intelligence, and it goes like that. And it's like that for every critical mineral, because if the energy demand more than double, the critical mineral demand is geometrical. So I believe it's a market demand worldwide, a fantastic person to bring the visibility to the country. Some people don't like him, some people like him, but he attracts the attention to the country. And then demand the attention, and you need to have the resources. And here we have the geology and the human resources. So that creates the catalyzation. What we need now is finish the IMF. To me, it's not dramatic. Weeks or no week, month or no month. The IMF should support Argentina. The IMF has supported Argentina with no fiscal discipline. So it should support Argentina with fiscal discipline. There's no doubt. I don't know what the bureaucrats are doing, but they should support Argentina. it will happen. The midterm election will go smooth. We have a very strong electoral system, so the election will go smooth. I believe the new the government had been able to deliver things in Congress, and he will have more flexibility in the future Congress. Independent governors and even parents governors have supported the key thing. Today you heard Governor Yarlora saying we support the agreement, Governor Figueroa saying we intervene in the writing of the RIGI, especially on the hydrocarbon sector. So the country is working, the democratic institutions are working to attract capital. So I believe it has been the combination of the country situations and the president promoting the country outside of Argentina.
And I'll conclude it here with one last thought, and I'll invite you to do this one in
zero.
Spanish.
It says zero.
Because
I will do it in
you don't
Spanish.
need to
I will do it in
respond.
Spanish, yeah.
If there was just one thing that the mining industry in Argentina needs that Integra could provide, what's that thing that you're providing for it?
Is the final opening of the financial market. En Spanish. Para la aceleración final, yo creo que es la apertura final del mercado de capitales y financiero para los proyectos y la elección de medio término. Thank you very much, Rahim.